Hello, and welcome to Sandblaster Maintenance. Excuse me for a moment while I share my screen. Sandblaster Maintenance. I can't imagine anything more fun than that. This is a 100% homemade production. On the Sandblaster are a couple of important stickers. This one says, "Caution! This dresser compressor operates on automatic control and may start at any time. Always disconnect the power supply and release air pressure before servicing." No kidding, there is no point in servicing your air pressure with it going off every 3 seconds, so make sure you disconnect the electric first. The second label, maintenance instructions. Caution, turn off power before servicing in case you forgot since the last slide. The following instructions are based on normal operation. Refer to the manufacturer's manual for detailed instructions. I don't have a manufacturer's manual. I didn't come with one. If the unit is in an extremely dusty area, increase frequency of all checks. Daily, check for proper oil level. Drain any condensate from the receiver and traps. Check for any unusual noise or vibration. Now it says the following instructions are based on normal operation. I am assuming that they think normal operation is using it every day, all the time. If you are using it less, you don't need to check it every single day. Weekly, clean the air filter, clean all the external parts of the compressor and the driver. Safety valve should be tested manually to see that it does not stick. I don't even know what the safety valve is, and I've never cleaned the exterior of my air compressor since I bought it in 1986. So please do as they say, not as I do. I'm a bad example. Monthly, inspect entire air system for leaks, inspect oil for contamination and change if necessary, check the belt tension and wear. Every 3 months, check the oil and inspect the valve assembly. All right, here's the air compressor. It will need an oil change every now and then. So I direct your attention to this section. Here we have the little window in which you can see the oil and you can see if it's at a proper level. It is at a proper level in this image, about 3/4 of the way full, and the oil should be clean and clear and yellow. Now, presumably, if you are changing it, you will go over here. It says oil level. You know, you can't see through this thing, so I don't know what good that is because you unscrew this cap and you literally can't see anything. But this is where the oil goes in. But before you put the oil in, you got to take the oil out. And it comes through this pipe. You unscrew this thing with a pipe wrench, a vice grips or whatever, and the oil will come streaming out. So you're going to want a bucket. Put the bucket over that thing, unscrew this cap, and let all the crappy oil drain into the bucket. And then you pour the oil in here until this is about 3/4 full. As for the air filter that they mentioned, it is on top of the pump and it looks like this. I've never changed mine. Not mentioned on the air compressor because it's actually on the Sandblaster cabinet is the Sandblaster window. This will get sandblasted after a few hours of use, even if you're careful about where you aim the gun. I mean, you should not aim the gun at the window, which people sometimes do because they think there's no sand coming through. So they go like this and look, and that will just sandblast the window really fast. So try not to do that. It will get foggy anyway. The solution is to cover the glass plate that's in there with clear acetate. So as you can see here, the window unscrews at about a bunch of locations, and I unscrew all of them except for the bottom. I pull this section forward and I pull the glass out. And then I have covered it with a sheet of 3 mil clear acetate and duct tape. It's really important when you do this, there be no air holes and no little gaps where sand can get in, because it will find a way in if there is even a tiny hole. So make sure that all 4 sides are tightly taped down. And then you can reinsert it into the window with the acetate obviously facing the interior of the cabinet. And you screw this stuff down nice and tight, and you are all set to go. Also, you need to empty the tank every now and then. That is because the tanks collect condensation, which is water, and that can rust the interior of your tank. There have been cases of sandblasters corroding to the point where they explode. You certainly don't want that to happen. If you live in a humid area like muggy Philadelphia, it is even more important to do this at least once a season. And on mine, as I mentioned in the first video, I have it hooked up with a release valve that reaches out from the bottom. Otherwise, you will have to get down on the floor and unscrew the tap, which is deep underneath in there. That's actually very hard to do. I don't know why they don't design them like this from the get-go, because who the hell wants to do it the other way? This is an upright tank. There are sideways tanks. They are a little different. So that is how you drain it. Be aware, you definitely have to have the electric system off for this, because it will keep trying to refill otherwise. This is extremely loud and forceful coming out of that pipe. You will jump out of your pants if you're not prepared for it. So be aware that it's very loud, and it's forcefully coming out of that tube, blowing air all over your basement. Not, I don't know what the PSI is, it's just a whatever. And it will also spray cruddy water all over your basement floor. So be prepared for that as well. And finally, the last thing you need to know is that every now and then you have to take the dust out of the dust collector. I didn't always do this, and it got way too full and it started a fire. The fire put itself out in a few seconds. It was terrifying. It smelled beyond the pale because it was burning fiberglass, which is cancerous. It's a big mess. So when the tank, this tank here is about 3/4 full, you want to empty it. And you definitely want to do that because it's very heavy. So you don't want to carry around tons and tons of sandblast dust. So that is the basic maintenance of your sandblaster. I can't imagine anything more disgusting and unfun than that, but you will be happy you did it. Thank you for listening.